Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to In Response. This is our first weekly Magic the Gathering newsletter. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and hopefully you guys will come back. If you enjoy this video, just leave a comment in the comment section below, and if you don't, tell us, because everything we're doing is for you, my fellow Magic the Gathering fans. And I'm always keeping open ears. I've been told many times I have huge ears. Well, these ears will be coming to use, because I'll be listening to each and every one of you. Alright, on to the news then. It's spoiler season for Shadows over Innistrad. And recently we got many cool cards in this new set. Let's take a look at them. First up, we have Heir of Falconwrath. A flip card, which is itself amazing because the first Innistrad block had flip cards, and our most recent encounter with flip cards would be Magic Origins, the flip walkers. But this is an interesting flip card. It's a 1 black, 1 colorless for a 2/1 vampire. Sounds quite iffy. But wait till you see its ability. Discard a card, transform it. Discarding a card gives you a Madness Enabler. We'll talk about Madness later. So, it's a 3/2 with flying when you flip it, and honestly, that is amazing. So speaking of madness, we got Unruly Younglings. Joven Incorrigivis. I probably butchered that language, but it's a 5-mana 4/3 with haste. And if you cast it for Madness, Madness means that whenever you discard this card, you can pay its Madness cost instead of its normal spell cost. And in this case, you get 3 mana for 4/3 haste. That's just amazing. So next, we're gonna be going to Aberrant Researcher. It is basically the new Delve of Secrets. Unfortunately, there's no art, as this is part of the viral marketing campaign, the Escape Rooms, which we'll get into later. So, it's a 3 colorless, 1 blue, flying. At the beginning of upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery, transform Aberrant Researcher. It's a 3/2 flying, but when you flip it, it becomes a 5/4 flying. Basically, Delve of Secrets took steroids. Next, we got Pick the Brain, introducing the mechanic Delirium. I think it's been shown a bit earlier, but for the sake of consistency, I will explain the mechanic for you. If there are 4 more cards in the graveyard, card types among cards in your graveyard, it'll trigger an additional ability. It's kind of like Spell Mastery, except I'll compare it to like the Tarmogoyf of Spell Mastery. So, 2 colorless, 1 black. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. That is quite an amazing ability. There is something similar in Standard right now, which only gets rid of things that are 3 or bigger. Transgress the Mind, I believe. But this card has Delirium. If you have 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard, search that player's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name of the exiled card. Exile those cards, then that player shuffles his or her library. I guess at this rate, no one can play Shadowborn Apostle in a modern deck if it somehow becomes a meta. Alright, now next to our next card, Bygone Bishop. It's a 2 colorless, 1 white, flying. Whenever you cast a creature spell converted mana cost 3 or less, investigate. Investigate means put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with 2 mana. Sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. It's a 3 mana, 2/3 flyer. That's amazing. With ability, even more amazing. I believe that this card will be the future Mentor the Meek. Definitely in all white weenie EDH decks. Why? It's actually a bit better than Mentor the Meek. Because The clue artifacts gives you artifacts in case you want to shape anew, if you play that sort of tech. It gives you card draw at instant speed. Now, that's better than waiting for your things to ETB. And even if they counter the spell, you still get to investigate because it is cast, not enter the battlefield. Now, that's amazing. Next, we have the last one. If I missed any, it's probably because I haven't seen them or I just don't find them interesting enough to share right now. Brain in a Jar. 2 mana for an artifact with 1 tap. Put a charge counter on Brain in a Jar. Then you may cast an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Brain in a Jar from your hand without paying its mana cost. First up, that's some crazy art right there. I love it. It's basically Gleemax. 3 mana, tap, remove X charge counters from Brain in a Jar, scry X. Okay, that's a cool ability, because unlike Aether Vial, you can actually remove the counters on this one. You have so much more flexibility than you would have otherwise. Plus, I think that Mystics would love this card, like, super hard. Especially with all the Proliferate tech, you can cast all your big stuff from multiplying your charge counters with Proliferate. Well, adding your charge counters. Okay, so on to the viral marketing campaign of Shadow over Innistrad. One of the first things that happened to Shadows over Innistrad's marketing campaign was the countdown clock with the picture of Jace, well, not really picture, but rather animation of Jace with his little floating thing here and a countdown timer. The countdown has hit 0. So let's enter Markov Manor. Alright, so here we get to visit the manor and Stitcher Geralf's lab. So it's very interesting. You have this really elaborate animation. So let's brave the lab. We'll dare to enter. So we enter the Stitcher's lab. We can get some spoilers here. Pick the brain and brain in jar, which we kind of covered earlier. You step in the lab, and instantly the stench of rot and decay washes over you, seeping into every pore. The crackle and hum of electricity underscore piercing screams, and foul shadows stir in cage, watching you with too many eyes. You're drawn deeper into the lab, seeking to make sense of the horrors you see before you. The Stitcher's lab has opened. Follow the clues throughout the weekend to unravel the madness on Innistrad. So we also get some stuff to do with the viral marketing campaign. Honestly, it is. I'm really impressed with what Wizards has been doing here. So, add some GPs. GP Melbourne, GP Bologna. Is it Bologna? Bologna? I don't know. JP Detroit. They have this escape room. Escape rooms are something that's quite popular in Malaysia recently. Where you have to solve puzzles to break out of a room. So GP Melbourne has Stitcher Giraffe's lab. So they even like stay in full costume, have flavors, people dressing up, like, as you can see here. You get some teas. You get Stitcher Giraffe here. Plenty of pictures. Questionable things. Questionable pictures. More questionable things. Oh, here's a spoiler that I kind of missed out. Tooth Collector. But honestly, I'm not that impressed with it. And yeah, so this is roughly what you can experience on the Magic Gathering site itself. Now, let's go to the manor, because we get to visit the lab, and now I love these animations with the lightning bolt there. Alright, let's go to the manor. So the manor looks like it's in shambles. And that's Nahiri. She's doing something to the manor. Let's investigate Markov Manor. So, here's an English version of the thing. It's not unruly youths, it's incorrigible youths. Here's the English version, and honestly, that is amazing. Buttresses and archways twist in impossible directions as you step through the iron gates. Even more horrifying, the forms and figures of vampires jut out from the building, melded with the structure itself. Strange noises echo down abandoned halls and passageways. Yet, even as all feel cold and empty, you can't shake the feeling that you're not alone here. Investigate the mystery of the madness on Innistrad and Markov Manor. Follow the clues throughout the weekend and unravel the madness on Innistrad. So, you got the same thing here. You got the same tweets, all the tweets down there. I honestly can't wait to see more from this website. Now, onwards to the next part of the viral marketing campaign. A Tumblr site, the Hanweir Chronicle. I'm not going to read out the articles here because they're actually quite long. It is a series of articles released by a Oliver Hayfield about the mysterious things happening around Hanweir, a new sovereign state of Innistrad. And also there's also a bit of a box here. The box has interesting things in it. We'll take a look at that later. The town of Hanweir declares itself sovereign province, and here we got author himself, Oliver Hayfield. So here we have the mysterious little video. A box full of rags, silver objects, a chalice, a cup, a dish, a stopwatch, a pocket watch. I have a pocket watch. It's quite nice. And hashtag SOI kickoff. It's an interesting box. And if you go into Hanweir Chronicle, if you click on the box, you actually get to see the contents properly. So yes, that is pretty much it for the viral marketing campaign as far as I know. I'm really, really impressed with what Wizards is doing. I love it. When I started off with Magic Gathering in Theros, my first pre-release was Born of the Gods, and my first release day and so on. But I did not really enjoy it because I just fought a Minotaur horde. I mean, it's fun, yeah, but I don't feel like I'm really immersing myself into the world, especially since mind grind was a thing. So I mind grind you for one. You have no land. You die now. No, I do not want that. I want something like this. I want every set to have such an excellent marketing device such as this, because that way leaks don't even matter, because we all live the experience. So Wizards, take note. I love this viral marketing, and even if you probably don't listen to me, you wouldn't listen to me because I'm just a person spouting off on a camera. But if you want people to buy into Magic and live in the lore, you have to continue doing this. And I am impressed, Wizards. Good job, and keep it up. Now on to some current affairs. Noah Bradley uploaded this on Reddit. For GPDC, there'll be a signing fee, $1 card, for just to get the card signed. He states that there's no doubt it'll piss off a few people, but here's my thoughts on it. Artists have every right to price their services. It is not easy for artists to just do stuff. They have to have a living. They make the living through their art. And I applaud that sort of ambition to be able to make art your life. That is truly something amazing. So if any artist wants even just to sign any of the cards, I don't mind paying them any fee they give. Before we move into metagame and MTG finance, let's chill out a bit. We will be going into art since we were talking about an artist signing cards. So today we're going to be taking a look at some old style booster pack arts. This is the fan art section. I hope you guys like it. It's just something I thought it would be nice to share good art. So this guy on Reddit, Mr. Amane the 8th, created some traditional style booster pack for recent sets. This is Dragon Maze, of course showing that it's expert level expansion, because those days there was actually a distinction between starters, advanced level, and expert level. I haven't played during this era, so it is somehow I feel like I'm more in tune with this traditional art style for the booster pack. I feel that it's more uniform than, well, Oath of the Gatewatch, for example, or any of the recent packs. I don't know, it's just, it has a certain feel to it. It feels like Magic the Gathering. I'm not saying that Wizards should change back to this way, but I just like it. Now, on to Magic the Gathering Finance. All our information is from MTG Stocks. It's an amazing website if you want to keep track of, well, Magic the Gathering stocks. So, every week they will release weekly winners, and I think that just for the sake of completion, we would just use this article. But I'm just skimming through it, so if you want to properly read it, it's up to you. So, Meditate has experienced a 705% increase from a very low level card suddenly popped to, at one point, even $50. Very strange, most likely because of the reserve list. I mean, 3 mana, instant, skip your next turn, draw 4 cards is amazing. Next you have Magmatic Force increasing to by 470.9% up to $10. EDH staple, it seems. Next we have Scorch Ruins, Eldrazi Fogger all over again, bouncing from $3 to a certain point, $62, now going down to $18. So those are the major big winners of Magic Gathering Finance. Some cheap pickups. I would not agree with Sinkhole, even though it is going on a downward trend. I'm just not a fan of such cards. But there's Gates of St. Traff. That one's really true. Because of the Dual Decks reprint now, it's going to be very affordable for anyone willing to build it in Modern. Nissa Voice of Zendikar, just like what Chandra Flamecaller was, I think this has a lot of room to grow, especially with the Celestia Counters deck, which I will go into later. Splinter Twin is on a downcut after the ban, but I think that Splinter Twin can come back. It's one of the cards that I feel that doesn't deserve a ban. Is not that toxic. I feel that Eldrazi is way more toxic than it is. And I think Splinter Twin should be allowed. Because Kiki Jiki is just too slow for 3 triple red. On Offense to the Foremost, great EDH, Tiny Eaters, maybe a bit modern. Oh yes, and your Battle Lands, pick them up now before they become expensive when fetch lands rotate out. But however, I would also recommend the Manlands, Shambling Vent. Hissing Quagmire is actually especially cheap at $1.85 on SCG, last I checked. And also Force of Will, it's a cheap pickup, but I think that Force of Will should not be your main concern right now. Just wait till Eternal Masters comes and buy any stock you want, but buy it before it slowly crawls back up, because it might cause an influx in legacy players wanting to play Force World. In which case, if you have bought in dual lands or any other reserve list staples, my dog is a bit noisy today. If you bought in any reserve list staples, you're gonna be in for the payday of your life. So now on to the metagame analysis of the last week. Rally the Ancestors has been dominating alongside Four Colored Collect Company, giving with cards like Ailey Eternal Pilgrim, Catacomb Sifter, all these cards, amazing. Jace, the real MVP, and also Dark Jeskai has been shown to be dominating at Grand Prix Houston, but in the end, Owen Turdenwald with 4-color rally takes the cake. Now, on to Modern. The metagame is currently 59% aggro, with Eldrazi taking up 19% of that. And Control 16%, Combo 25%. So Eldrazi is still the major player here. Will this change? Will this stay? Because the most played cards, they're all either Eldrazi or anti-Eldrazi. I hope it gets banned. Like something. Just do something to get rid of it. I don't care if you bring in Werewolf Tribal to replace it. As long as it's something. Let's make Modern great again. Now on to Legacy. Legacy is experiencing a bit of an Eldrazi aggros too, 38% of aggro deck, but Eldrazi being the top of the curve, 7%, because Eldrazi have been shown to be quite good in Legacy. I mean, I don't mind it because it's not that bad, because Control still has quite a large amount of playability with Blue-White Miracles, Bug Aggro, and Combo still has Show and Tell and Storm. So there's still a bit of diversity in Legacy. So, I'm really excited to see where Standard, Modern, and Legacy go in the future, because Legacy will have an influx of new people coming in from Eternal Masters. Modern might get a few cards here and there, but we'll hold more hope for MM17, or well, next year hopefully they'll have a third Modern Masters. And Standard, honestly, I'm glad to see that the meta has changed a bit from, while still being Abzan mid-range dominating, there's still a lot of good decks out there like 4C Rally Ancestor, 4C Control. Abzan mid-range, I played the deck. I actually am one of those degenerate people that played Siege Rhino. I can't wait for it to go away. I don't play Standard anymore, but maybe if there's a good enough environment, I'll probably go back in. Right now, my favorite format is personally Commander and Modern, due to financial reasons. But yes, I hope that things will change for the better. I hope that if Eldrazi gets banned, I hope that it won't cause another degenerate deck to appear out of nowhere. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and that this is In Response, signing off.